Good evening, everyone. I'll now call the meeting to order. Appreciate your attendance. Without further ado, we'll get right into the agenda here. Do we have any disclosure of pecuniary interest, general nature thereof, regarding any of the items? Seeing none, thank you. Could I have an approval of the agenda as presented? Councillor O'Neill and Ms. Simmons, any questions or comments? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Could I now have a motion to approve the minutes of March the 19th, and I would entertain any questions or comments. Councillor McHugh, Councillor Krasovas, any errors, omissions, questions regarding those? If not, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, we'll get right into the public meeting of the evening. The public meetings are conducted as prescribed by Section 3413 of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, as amended for one zoning bylaw amendment application affecting lands in the Murray Ward and one zoning bylaw amendment application affecting lands in the Sydney Ward. The meeting will be conducted in the following manner for each application. First, I will identify each application being considered, and then I will ask planning staff to outline the application being considered. Then ask if there are any members of the public in attendance who have registered in advance to participate in the meeting to have any questions or comments regarding each stated application. If there are no public comments or questions, I will ask the committee if they have any questions or comments. Once all committee questions have been addressed, the committee will consider and vote on each application. If you wish to provide comments, please state your name and address for the record prior to addressing the committee. This committee has been delegated the responsibility to conduct public meetings as prescribed under the Planning Act. A full report of the meeting's proceedings will be submitted to City Council on Wednesday, May the 6th, 2026. Council will make the decision on each stated application. Anyone other than the applicant who wishes to receive further notice of Council's decision on each application must submit a written request for notice of Council's decision to the Director of Planning and Development Services. I will now ask the Director of Planning and Development Services, please advise the committee on how notice of these meetings were given.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to committee. Notice of the application has been considered this evening. We're given in keeping with the provisions of the Planning Act, RSO 1990 as amended, by first-class mail on March 27th, 2026, and the posting of signs on the subject properties on the same date. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll start with the first public meeting of the evening, which is 7.1 Staff Report 26-0616 PD, the zoning bylaw amendment, and the owners James and Catherine St. John. Location is vacant property west of 1074 County Road 5. File numbers D09/M02/26. Ashley, would you like to address this application, please?
Through you, Mr. Chair. This rezoning is a condition of consent application B45/25M, which was approved by the Committee of Adjustment on December 11th, 2025. Under the consent application, the Committee of Adjustment approved the severance of a new 0.9 hectare lot for future development. The effect of the zoning bylaw amendment is to rezone the conditionally approved severed lot from the agricultural exception 7 zone to the rural residential zone. The conditionally approved retained lot would be rezoned to the agricultural exception 32 zone to recognize a reduced lot area of 10.7 hectares. This rezoning would bring both the severed and retained lots into conformity with the city's zoning bylaw. The comments from Public Works, Building, and Fire Departments state no concerns. Comments from Lower Trent Conservation indicate no objections. No residents to date have voiced concerns about the application. The application is consistent with the provincial planning statement, the city's official plan, and maintains the intent of the zoning bylaw. This application is therefore recommended for approval.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have anyone in attendance who wishes to ask any general questions or have opposition to this application? Please come forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Cheryl Quance, 1022 County Road 5. My house backed onto that piece of land. I really don't understand what this zoning means. Is it going to be remaining agricultural, or is it going to be residences, homes built there? And if it's homes, when would that be? And what would the size of those homes be? And how would they access those homes? From what road?
Maybe I'll have staff address the, as far as the zoning and what it entails, please.
Okay, the purpose of the rezoning, like the severed lot, it would be rezoned rural residential to conform with the official plan designation, which is in the rural zone. And the retained lot, the larger parcel, it will remain in the ag designation. Like, it is intended to remain agricultural.
So where would a residential house go in there?
It will probably go in the severed parcel. It's hard to say when, and we don't know what size.
And
In terms, on the piece that's hatched between the existing houses, right on the frontage. So this severance would just allow for one house
One
to be
house.
built on that hatched area,
Okay.
and the rest of the land would remain. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have any questions or comments or opposition? Please come forward. State.
Williams, 1086 County Road 5. We didn't get Schedule A with the original mail-out. I don't know if that was an oversight or not. It says on Schedule A, rezoned to agricultural exception. So what is it zoned as now?
Staff, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. So it's zoned agricultural right now. The exception recognises the change in its dimensions. So basically, when we do a rezoning or a severance, we have to make sure that the lots that are remaining comply with the zoning, both in terms of their use and their size, their dimensions and lot frontage. Obviously, with the severance being taken off, the overall size of the parcel has changed, and so the exception just recognises the new dimensions.
So it's exactly the same as the existing zoning.
As far as the use goes, correct, yes.
Correct. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Opposition? Would the applicant wish to speak? Okay, seeing none. Committee, I would entertain your questions or comments and a motion to support the approval as presented. Mr. Brown, Ms. Simmons, seconds. Any questions or comments regarding it? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, we now move to item 7.2, Staff Report 26-017 PD, Zoning Bylaw Amendment Application. The owner is Scott Simmons and Amanda Thornton. The agent is Frontier Homes Quinte. Location is 30A Neighborly Road. File number is D09/S03/26. Madison, would you like to address this application, please?
Through you, Mr. Chair. The purpose of this application is to rezone the property from the Rural Residential Exception 1 holding zone to the Rural Residential Exception 88 zone to facilitate a 45.15 square meter addition to the existing seasonal cottage and the relocation of the septic system on the property. The Rural Residential Exception 88 zone would include special provisions to allow the proposed addition to be located within the flood hazard and to recognize the existing bunkie structure on the property. The bunkie would not be able to be enlarged or renovated to include any type of fixtures at any time, including but not limited to kitchens or bathrooms. Members of this committee may recall this property from a previous meeting back in 2025. This rezoning is the final approval required under the Planning Act to facilitate the development. The applicants previously submitted an official plan amendment application, which was approved by council on September 17, 2025, and a site plan control application, which was approved by the Site Plan Committee on March 5, 2026. Should this application be approved, the final step in the overall process would be building and septic permits. The applicants followed the proper procedure and secured all necessary planning approvals, including a development permit from Lower Trent Conservation required for the proposed development. No comments or concerns related to this rezoning were raised by any internal or external departments or agencies or members of the public at the time of this meeting. That said, planning staff are comfortable recommending the removal of the holding symbol and rezoning the property to include the aforementioned special provisions to facilitate the proposed addition and relocation of the septic system. Overall, this application is consistent with the provincial planning statement and generally conforms with the City of Quinte West official plan. This application is therefore recommended for approval.
Thank you very much, Madison. Appreciate that. Do we have anyone in attendance who has any general questions or opposition to this application? Okay. Committee, you've heard the recommendation, and I would entertain a motion and any concerns. Moved by Councillor McHugh, seconded. Mr. Edison? Okay. Any further questions or comments from the committee? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Your comments regarding the applications and staff reports have been recorded and will be forwarded to the members of City Council together with the minutes of this meeting. Council will make a decision to approve or refuse each stated application at the regularly scheduled council meeting of Wednesday, May the 6th, 2026. We now move to item 8, which is public input. Any public input? Seeing none. Presentations? None. Delegations? None. And decision items? None. And we move down to printed information. You have the monthly planning and development reports and site plan committee reports. And I would entertain a motion and any questions or comments on either of those items. Moved by Councillor O'Neill, seconder. Mr. Brown, any comments or questions regarding any of those items? Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I see in March was the building permits for the hospice, which is a 4-bed expansion, and that'll result with no more staff and 4 more beds, which I think is great.
Yep, very good. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, non-printed, we have none. Requests for information? Mr. Edison, you want anything tonight? Councillor? No? Oh, getting off. Ms. Simmons? Mr. Brown? Mr. O'Neill? Holy God, we're getting off easy here, quick. Anything from staff, revelations you want to bring forward? Well, we hope everything stays on the even keel and there's no revelations, we'll put it that way. Okay, hearing none, I want to thank the committee and the staff and Andrea for filling in this evening. Of course, Andrea always does a good job. She has a heck of a job trying to keep the Agricultural Advisory Committee in line, and but anyway, I knew she'd do a good job, so we thank her for filling in tonight. Mr. Brown.
Sorry, just one question. Are we going to vote on a name for the lake that's formed in the parking lot there? Or?
Have you got that rezoned, Brian, to recognize that or whatever?
It's only a temporary water course. So, by the time you name it, it will be gone.
Okay, seeing nothing more from the committee or anyone, I would entertain the hard decision of who wants to adjourn. Mr. Edison. Get a seconder? Ms. Sharp, one at each end of the table here. All in favor or those opposed? All carried unanimously. Thank you very much, everyone, and appreciate your attendance, even very short and sweet. So thank you and have a good evening. Meeting adjourned.